Hi, this is Bruce once again. This time I'm working on a little project and I need to build a foundation. So I thought I'd talk about what I call down and dirty foundations using a wood burning tool. In particular, the one I'm using is from Walnut Hollow and it's called their Creative Versatool. You can buy these in any craft store or online. That's what the box looks like. Mine is a variable temperature unit, but they have less expensive ones. But you know, if you go to a Michael's or one of the other craft stores, bring along one of the weekly coupons, get it for 40% off, and it's not so bad. You got a wedge type. You got a lot of different tips actually that come with this, but the one you want to use is the wedge type tip. This can also be used as a soldering iron and even as a hot knife. It comes with a number 11 blade that fits in there. And remember that the tip is hot, so be careful. And I think we've all made that mistake. And the idea is to just be able to take a piece of wood and make a small notch in it like that. Let me show you the effect that you can achieve using strip wood for a foundation. This is a house I built a while back and wanted a foundation under it and decided to try to use a wood burning tool. Let me put a little more light on it. Hopefully you can see that. And it comes very effective. That happens to be 2 rows of a block foundation. I also do some that's only 1 row, which is what I'm going to be using today. You can see that the strip wood I use is 3/32 by 1/8 for 1 row. And that's what I have here, 3/32 by 1/8. You can also get 3/32 by 1/4 for 2 row, which is what I had underneath the house. When you're going to do 2 rows, obviously you have to put a line between the 2 rows, and what I do there is take a metal straight edge. Do not use plastic for obvious reasons. You have a hot tip, and you run it down the middle of your strip wood, and then just run the wood burning tool, because you're going to have this down on your work table. And you get that, and then you just run your wood burning tool along the center line. And once you're done with that, then you're going to come in at perpendicular to that center line and just tip it down and get your burned marks to mark the edges of your of each block. So I'm going to take my strip wood, put it down here. I'm just going to use the hash marks along the bottom edge of the cutting mat, and just perpendicular. They don't all have to be the same distance apart. I'm making these hash marks. And again, these, for the most part, I'm simulating not cinder blocks, but rather cut stone. That gives you the excuse for having different widths to these things. And for the sake of what I'm doing right now, that's fine. Then I just take some cheap craft paint. This is Apple Barrel Pewter Gray. You want to, for cut stone, stay in the gray lines, and put some onto a rag. Rub it in, and then you're just going to draw your strip wood through that. And you let that dry, And then you cut that off, and at 45-degree angles at the corners here, so that you can bevel the joints, and you get a decent looking foundation very quickly compared to some of the other alternatives for foundations. And that's it, using a wood burning tool and strip wood to create foundations. Now the dimensions I gave you are for HO scale. I think this would work, the wood burning tool would work well at HO and anything larger. I think if you tried to do it with N or Z or any of the smaller scales, the actual width of the burn, the kerf if you wish, is going to be too large. But it's fine for HO, S, O, etc. And that's it.